Welcome back. My name is Candace Sanderson, and I've had so many thoughts lately. None are very surprising. After all, it's just a couple days before another new year begins. But this time of year at the end of the calendar, I hear out with the old in with the new buzzing around in my brain. Thinking, well, this is what often gets us in trouble in the first place. Yes, thinking. Thinking often leads to overthinking. But let me just jump in here and share my thinking about the upcoming year. I'm going to try to move through life a little differently with less analysis. Now, that is not easily done given my training as a psychologist, but I am going to make a concerted effort to move without effort, to move in a more natural way, to listen to my heart, and to find an intuitive rhythm. I'm going to try to follow that ebb and flow of life as it presents itself to me. These thoughts, this thinking, that is part of life. And it certainly serves its purpose. Thinking is important. It helps us to function in the 3D. Did we pay our utility bills, our mortgage or rent? Do we have groceries? All those things that support our 3D life. But what I'm talking about is balance. What works? It is okay to let your heart lead you, but it is also important to maintain that balance. It's good to prepare for your next meal. It's learning to live in this world, but not letting yourself be defined by it. It's also about vision. With the risk of sounding a bit too cliche with the new year approaching, let me ask, what are your intentions? Do you have resolutions for the new year? Are there things that you wish to change, or perhaps is there a challenge that you want to take on in the new year? Is this a personal quest, or is it something larger, something more global? The answers to these questions will guide you into the new year, perhaps onto a new path forward, maybe edging toward a new life. If you are happy with your life, is there a way to increase that happiness, that satisfaction? Is there a way to amplify those feelings of gratitude, of wishes fulfilled? Is there a way to stretch it so that it will last longer? If you are less than pleased with your life, how can you change that? But the first question is, do you want to change that? It's that risk reward ratio. I guess what I'm saying is that this upcoming new year offers us a clean slate, a new beginning. It gives us a chance to take a deep breath and assess where we are. As the hustle and bustle of life surrounds us, when we stop, all that blurs past us. We realize we do not have to be caught up in those torrents of activity. It is a choice. We can hit the pause button and, just like a movie, let the rest of the world buzz by us. Yet we remain still. And what does that stillness do for us? It allows a different perspective to percolate. It gives us a choice. We're no longer caught in those torrents of family drama, political unrest, fears of the unknown, where we are reacting to those around us. No, we can step outside the drama and we can rise above. See yourself in the center of a hub because that is where we are, especially as a new year emerges. But see yourself in the grand central station of life. Look up at those digital signs like we see at airports. We can see information about our specific flight, when it will arrive, what terminal, what gate, and when it might depart. Is it on time? If it's delayed, how long is it delayed for? As we look at the signage, perhaps we'll begin to realize that there are so many options. Others too are stopping to look, but most of them looking over your shoulder, well, they're on a different path. Yet this is where everyone congregates. Everyone slows or stops enough just to double check their path. As you pause in this great terminal of life, you might realize something. There's a whole lot what's going on that you, well, yes, you planned. You planned this long ago before you reached this point, this midsection of the terminal of life. Perhaps before your beautiful spirit stepped in this incarnation, you planned something that would provide you with exactly what you needed. Note, I did not say necessarily what you want, but something that you need. I've heard people joke about never asking for patience. Never do that because life will give you lessons, often too many lessons, where patience is required. No, you don't want to learn patience. But when life hits us with lessons, the question becomes, how do we navigate these lessons? But it's not just trying to go around that bump in the road, but trying to understand the best way so that same bump no longer keeps cropping up. Let's learn to deal with it once and for all, hopefully with grace, ease, and permanence. When we hit these bumps, take your time to learn the lesson, the life lesson that often keeps repeating itself until we learn that underlying lesson. So, how do we navigate these often turbulent times? First step is to stop, take a deep breath, and look at the digital signs surrounding you. Take a broader view of all of your options. If the path you automatically want to take is too familiar and you have a pretty good idea of what will happen, what always happens when you take that path, and it never works the way you hoped, well, maybe it's time to get out of the loop, out of this Groundhog's Day time loop, and try something new, something different. Look at it as an opportunity to change your path, to discover a new route. Bob Monroe, founder of Monroe Institute, began his affirmations with, I am more than my physical body. The more I hear that, the more profound it becomes. As we go through life, if you're like me, perhaps you'll begin to realize that there is so much more life than what our physical senses measure. Watch a new mother as she holds her newborn infant, that look in her eyes. You see and feel the love that she feels. Is it maternal instinct I don't know, but it is a love that transcends words. We are more than our physical bodies. We have a soul. Some call it spirit. There's a ton of different names for it, but it is what makes us us. No two humans are alike, even twins. And yes, I have a twin sister, so I know this from experience. Our lives are that, ours. Multiple people can perceive the same event, yet walk away with as many different interpretations as there are people. This is the nature of life, the nature of reality. Life is what we make it because there's so much more to life and living than what the physical senses measure. Look at your patterns. When presented with an uncomfortable situation, do we slip into the same old role time and time again? Whether it's victim or hero, maybe it's time to change all of that. Start looking at these situations as opportunities to learn something new. Often these situations are mirrors, allowing us to see, if we dare, how we react. We can learn from these situations. We can gain insights that others probably know all too well about us, but we don't see, not yet. These are the mirrors that life offers us each day. The question becomes, will we use them? Or will we cover them up, fearful that they'll open doors to realms that we are not prepared to enter? Will we go through life with blinders on? Or maybe as this new year approaches, we'll decide to do something a little bit differently. This is, after all, that time of year. It is an ideal time, a perfect time for reflection, self reflection. So the next time you're at a reflection point, stop and check the digital signs in life's terminal. Don't always choose the same path. Maybe it's time to explore and find a new way forward with a new horizon. Be adventurous. Listen to the wisdom within and follow your heart. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Until next time, remember the importance of being kind, and especially be kind to yourself. Thank you for sharing, liking, and subscribing. Until next time, goodbye.